To you, this may look like garbage, but to identity thieves, it's a gold mine. Garbage cans are often filled with all sorts of sensitive information like checking account receipts, discarded checks, or pre-approved credit card offers bearing your name and address. It's just sitting on the curb ripe for the pickings unless you do this. A shredder will deprive thieves of access to your good name and credit, but a good pair of scissors can be a good substitute. Would you give your debit card to a perfect stranger? Well, isn't that what you're doing when you give your card to a server at a restaurant or a clerk at a store? Keep in mind, debit cards offer a direct line to your checking account. Credit cards may offer more protection against theft. Experts advise that you don't let your debit card out of your sight and that you monitor your bank and credit card statements constantly. If you don't challenge a fraudulent claim within 60 days, you might be stuck with the bill.
According to the Alabama Department of Revenue, in 2013, 1.6 million Americans were victims of identity theft and tax refund crimes. Alabama ranks 14th in the nation for identity theft complaints.
Surprise. I mean, how could that have happened?
Mobile resident Anita Wynn is part of that statistic. It started with a notification from her banking company.
Somebody used my credit card and managed to charge $350 in London at FedEx. Had several other charges on there too that were not mine, but they were small. And of course my credit card company was astute enough to pick up the fact that I'd used it in Mobile the day before and stopped it.
Wynn says she immediately closed her account and got a new one with a new card. She was refunded. Now here are some tips from the Department of Revenue to help prevent you from being a victim. First, don't give out personal information by phone or email. Do not submit info through unsecured websites. Don't give anyone claiming to be with the Department of Revenue or the IRS any personal information through email. Change your passwords frequently. And last, protect all personal paper documents. That's why Fox 10 is hosting a free shredding event at our studio Saturday morning.
Your bank statements that have copies of your checks with your signature.
Wynn isn't exactly sure how someone was able to get her information, but she plans on taking every precaution to prevent it from happening again. She says a free shred event is a great way to help not only her, but also the community.
Believe me, because it took me 2 years to find a place to shred what I had. There are places around who will do it for you for $100, but that wasn't exactly what I wanted.
In Mobile, Devin Cafaro, Fox 10 News.
Let's fill the bin up. This bin's full.
Fox 10 News wants to make sure your sensitive information is safe.
We want to reuse these.
So this weekend, we'll have 4 shredding trucks in our studio parking lot. Bring your boxes or bags full of documents and we'll handle the rest. To show you that your information is protected, we used our own sensitive documents to give it a try.
Grab the box.
I got it.
Bring it over.
I'm throwing it up.
And dump it in.
But why spend your Saturday morning shredding paper? Well, it could mean saving your sensitive information from getting into the wrong hands. And that's what Fox 10 News and Gilmore Services want to help you avoid. Director of Sales Jim Barron says you can never be too safe.
If you put that in the trash and set it out on the curb, it's there for anyone. And just because you put it in the trash doesn't mean that by the time it gets to a landfill, that pieces of paper aren't going to be blowing all over.
When you come to our studios here at Fox 10, it's a simple process. Pull up your car, take out your documents, and make sure you take off these big black clips. Now, paper clips and staples, those are okay. You're going to toss your documents into the bin. Once the bin is full, it'll be taken over to the truck where your documents will be shredded inside before it leaves Fox 10.
Mobile Representative Megan Mangold says once your documents are in the bin, you can be sure they're taken care of.
All of our trucks are GPS tracked. All of our employees have gone through background screenings. So we have very strict policies and procedures with regard to the chain of custody of your data and making sure that that information is permanently destroyed.
So join us on Saturday, November 21st for our first ever shred event as Fox 10 News helps you avoid identity theft, one paper at a time. In Mobile, Alexa Knowles, Fox 10 News.
According to the Medical Identity Fraud Alliance, last year more than 2 million Americans were victims of medical identity theft.
At this time of year, when it's time for people to sign up for healthcare plans, it's much more common.
Taloria Crenshaw with the Better Business Bureau says the most common way scammers steal your medical ID is by calling and pretending to be a government agency or healthcare provider. Scammers want to use your medical ID to get medical care or prescriptions on your dime and access your financial information.
So that they can steal from your bank account, so that they can open accounts in your name.
Medical ID theft is particularly a big deal because of the vast amount of information.
Eddie Stevens with Infirmary Health says ID theft can also be dangerous to your health. He says if a scammer gets medical care under your name, important information like allergies and blood type could be compromised.
It's slided all the way up to the prong.
At Infirmary Health, they use Patient Secure, a program that requires your handprint to get care.
We take a government ID, like a driver's license or whatever, and we associate the palm scan with that patient's information. It's 100 times more accurate than a thumbprint or a fingerprint.
Stevens encourages all patients to check with their medical provider about other procedures and technology they use to keep your information safe. According to the BBB, you should also check your medical bill thoroughly and call your provider if you've been billed for procedures you didn't receive. Never give personal, financial, or medical information over the phone. Never sign a blank insurance form or contract, and shred all sensitive documents. In Mobile, Rebecca Hager, Fox 10 News.
Many may think identity thieves only target adults, but your children's private information is also at risk. We're talking personal information, your child's date of birth, social security number, and birth certificate. Mobile Police Fraud Detective Mike Maxey says these types of crimes usually lead back to someone close to the child.
In our experience, most of the time if a child's information is compromised, it's typically by a relative. A child's information really isn't out there. They're not applying for loans, for credit cards. The pediatrician, the school, and usually the parents or guardians are who have their information.
Maxey says it's often not the parent, but a relative who just happens upon the information. Once they have the combination to the lock, identity thieves can use the child's information for years before the crime is discovered.
They can do anything from get mortgage loans to credit cards and run up thousands of dollars of bills in your name, and it's a pain for you to fight it.
Here are some of the warning signs your child's information may have fallen into the wrong hands. You get calls from collection agencies about accounts in your child's name. The Social Security Administration and IRS ask you to confirm if your child is employed, even though they've never had a job. Your child gets notice from the IRS saying they failed to pay taxes, and your child receives suspicious mail like pre-approved credit cards and other financial offers in his or her own name. All red flags that should not be ignored to protect your child's identity. Lee Peck, Fox 10 News.
4 hours, 4 shred trucks at the Fox 10 News Shred event. We're helping you protect your sensitive documents and your identity. Let's get started.
Shredding all day. What you say? All day.
On a Saturday morning, many lined up outside our Fox 10 News studios for one reason: shredding time. We brought the shredding trucks and the excitement, with all of your favorite Fox 10 News talent there to help.
Appreciate you being here.
We made it easy to get rid of your sensitive information safely.
You don't even have to get out or anything. We'll get it for you.
And it was a team effort. Fox 10 News and Gilmore Services working together to keep your identity safe. Whether you needed to clean out the clutter.
It's got some old paper we've been holding for years and years and years. So I'm scared, didn't know what to do with it.
So nice to do this, so well we can get rid of stuff that can get us in trouble if we don't get rid of it.
Or save a little cash.
It costs a lot of money to have your paperwork shredded, and that little shredder I have at home cannot handle that stress I have back in the back seat.
We've got you covered.
I just appreciate it so much.
To get your documents shredded so you can know your information is out of your hands, but not in someone else's.
Thanks for coming.
In Mobile, Alexa Knowles, Fox 10 News.